Hello guys, my name is Nikolai, and we're gonna be reacting to 5 True Horror Stories Animated.
1. Like this? I'm currently living together with my best friend.
That's nice.
One day, while we were sleeping, she suddenly screamed and jumped up from the bed. I asked what happened, and she explained what she had just experienced. So she got a sudden sleep paralysis when she was sleeping. She couldn't move her body at all. Moaning, she called my name desperately and said, "Help me. I think I got sleep paralysis. Give me a hug if you can hear my voice." Just then, someone started to press on her chest with an unbelievable, tremendous force. And she replied with my voice, to be exact. "Like this? Like this?" And my voice sounded like frantically, she said.
Dude, that's just
2.
terrifying.
The ticking sound.
The ticking
One day
sound.
in the middle of the late night, I woke up to the sudden sound of the clock ticking. And what I realized right after I opened my eyes was that there was no clock at all in my room.
Then just leave the house.
As soon as I recognized the fact, the ticking sound coming from my room suddenly began to be heard, like an offbeat. You know, the ghosts could make the sound of ticking.
They can't.
3. The computer in the motel room. Because of my work, I had to stay at a motel one night.
Alright.
While I was sleeping for a long time, I suddenly saw the computer turning on automatically around 4 a.m. On top of everything else, internet broadcasting suddenly started. I thought something was weird, but I was so tired that I was almost going back to sleep. Then I heard the sudden voices of 2 men on the computer.
Wow, 22 people are watching now.
Yeah, just close the
computer. Terrified, I
computer.
immediately turned off the computer right away. 4. The coincidence. I experienced this myself once before. While I was sleeping, I had a dream of someone pulling me roughly. Surprised, I swung at someone that pulled me in my dream with my fist and then woke up. And when I opened my eyes, I was hanging on the balcony railing, and my mother was pulling me desperately. Her nose was bleeding, and I realized that it was my mom who pulled me in my dream at that moment to save my life. What was more surprising was that one of the female students jumped to her death from our apartment at that daybreak.
Man, she dropped her. How could she? New Year's Eve Horror Story Animated.
In late 2008, I came one night to find my mom sitting in the kitchen all alone and in floods of tears.
Oh, she's crying, man.
When I asked her what was wrong, her answer made my jaw drop. My dad had left her. There was absolutely no indication that anything was wrong with their marriage or that he was remotely unhappy. But that afternoon, while I was out, he had apparently packed a few things into a suitcase, told her he was leaving, and just disappeared. I only mention this because it explains why my mom and little sister just didn't want to be in the house over Christmas and New Year. That kind of family-oriented time of year would have just been way too hard on them, so they basically buggered off to Mexico for a month to just decompress or whatever. Point being, I was all alone for Christmas and New Year's. Christmas Day sucked, and I realized that they were seriously right about not wanting to be alone in the house at that time of year. So for New Year's Eve, I decided to throw a little get-together for me and a load of my mates, hoping that a little party might take away some of the sadness I felt as a result of my dad leaving us.
Yeah, man, go call your friends.
So on the night itself, it ends up being about 20 to 30 of us getting together in my parents' place, getting drunk, listening to music, playing Xbox, just a big hangout among some of the people I was closest to. It was a really good night to start off with, and it really did help take my mind off of things for a little while. We did the whole New Year's countdown thing, set off a few fireworks, generally having a brilliant little night together. But the drunker we all got, the messier things became, until it was just a medley of people throwing up, hooking up in the spare bedroom, or arguing amongst themselves.
What?
2 of the people who ended up fighting were my mate Chris and his girlfriend at the time, a girl named Katie. And what I could gather, Katie thought Chris had been flirting with a mutual friend of ours and had taken issue with it. Chris was insisting that they were just being friendly and it was nothing to worry about, but Katie was adamant that something was going on.
Yo, man,
he was cheating on her, blah, blah, blah. You know how it is, teenage drama. Now, I know Chris really did love her, so it wasn't like a stand-up argument, It was more like him begging her to see reason and to not go mad and dump him over some perceived bit of flirting. He swore he'd never do anything like that she was the only girl for him, how much he loved her, all this romantic, theatrical stuff that you might expect from two young lovers. It wasn't really anything of my business, though, so me and the other party guests just sort of left them to it while we got on with trying to have fun.
Don't. Why would you leave them
like this one?
to do it, man?
adskiller.com.
Just watch. Make sure nothing bad happens.
Add Adskiller to your browser.
Then a little while later, I find Chris sitting in the back garden, swigging off a bottle of raw vodka on his own. I go up to him to ask him if he's okay, only to find that he's crying, rotten drunk, saying that Katie had dumped him and gone home. I tried to be a good friend and console him as best I could, saying that she probably was just drunk and over-emotional, how there was a good chance that they'd just get back together over the next couple of days when she'd realized she'd made a mistake. But he was insistent. She was gone for good, and they wouldn't be getting back together. All I could do was get him on his feet and hug it out with him. The poor guy really was in one heck of a state, and I managed to convince him to hand over the vodka, drink some water, and then get some sleep in my bed so he could maybe sober up a wee bit before heading on home. He agrees. I tuck him in and then leave him to get some rest. About an hour or so later, the party is winding down and the remainder of us are just chilling in the TV room when someone goes off to use the toilet. They return like seconds later, saying someone's in the bathroom throwing up, then asking if they can go and take a pee in the back garden. Of course, I tell them no. I didn't want them peeing all over my mom's flower beds, and that I'll nip upstairs to see if I can get whoever is out of the bathroom. So I get the toilet upstairs, and I can hear someone gagging and retching on the other side of the locked door. My friend Julia joins me, a wee bit concerned, and starts trying to help me talk to the person who's locked themselves in the bathroom. It's sometime then that I notice that two doors are open, the first being my bedroom, the second being a little cupboard on the first floor landing.
That's weird.
I check my bedroom and see that the bed is empty, so it's obviously Chris that's in the bathroom, puking his guts up because of all the vodka he drank. I shut the door to the bedroom, then go to close the door on the other room, which happened to be a little cupboard that my mom kept cleaning supplies in. My first thought was that Chris had opened up that door thinking it was the bathroom in his drunken haze, then legged it to the right bathroom in his desperation to puke. But I noticed something that, at first, I didn't really understand the significance of.
What did you
Cleaning
understand?
supplies that my mom usually kept all neat in a little plastic box were spilled all over the floor. Not like open fluids spilling out. They were just all out of the box like someone had been rooting through them. As I'm wondering why someone would do something like that, Julia calls out that the person who'd locked themselves in the bathroom, presumably Chris, had gone quiet all of a sudden, and that they weren't responding. That's when
I think he
I
probably
put
got
two and two
drunk,
together.
opened it, and started
Violent
drinking everything
vomiting,
in there.
Cleaning supplies missing, deep drunken depression. Chris was trying to end his own life.
Holy shit.
I absolutely pegged it to the bathroom door and
Bust through
started
that
trying
door.
to kick the door off
Break
the
it.
hinges. Julia
Break it
screams
down.
in shock at what I'm doing, and people from the living room start piling out towards the bottom of the stairs in utter confusion. I've been really protective of the house all night, not wanting people smoking inside, not wanting people peeing anywhere they shouldn't, trying to stop spillages and all of that kind of stuff. Then there I was, booting down my own bathroom door. It was way too heavy to actually kick off the hinges, but I did manage to kick a hole in the wood paneling, and that's when I got a look inside. Chris was laying there, a bottle of bleach next to him, and there was like pink puke all over the cistern, the floors, and his clothes. It was pink because he drank the bleach and it had corroded or burned the inside of him so much that he had vomited up blood. We were distraught,
He
terrified,
vomited his own
almost
system.
sure that he was dead. But we were quick to call an ambulance.
He was burning all of his system.
Chris had his stomach pumped, and he survived, but it took a long time for him to be back to normal. Because he puked, the fumes had damaged his lungs or something. I'm not a doctor, so don't have a go if I get the details wrong.
Damn.
So he had trouble eating, drinking, and breathing for at least a month after that. 12 years later, and I've never forgotten that. and I'm pretty sure neither has he. Because as far as I know, Chris never drank vodka again, because if the smell of it makes me think of that night, God knows what horrible memories it brings back to him.
Lily, oh my god, man. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Maybe I'll react to another horror story soon. But who knows? I might not. But I'll probably do it soon.